Right, welcome back to another video on my channel. So I'm going to do a year review, a bit like Billie Eilish's Vanity Fair one, where we go through like biggest achievements, biggest things like that have happened this year, and a couple of other questions to kind of interview myself, so I can kind of, over the years, interview myself again and kind of get a overview of what has happened over the last 4-5 years, maybe 6, depends how long I do these video creations for. Into the questions. Woo! I think I've got 2. So I think my biggest achievements this year have been, my first one being the Lou gig, his debut gig, where we organised everything from the clothing to the event to the supports to tickets. We did everything from scratch, all through our own website, all through, I guess, just me and Joe in this office. All was organised here. We even drove to Birmingham to get the event booked and stuff like that. It was a big thing for us. So that was one of my biggest achievements, I think. My second biggest achievement, I think, might have to be the Wombats interview we did at the start of the year. That one was quite cool for me, because they're someone I've been listening to for years. Since I was a kid, I've been listening to the Wombats for so long now. So getting them on the podcast and on something that I've created, quite early doors, like it was in the first 50 episodes we released. So that was something that I think was one of my biggest achievements. I think the biggest regret of the year for me was probably stopping making content when things got a bit tough in like September. I wish I hadn't stopped. We literally recorded like 3 episodes of the podcast, which you now have seen, but we literally only recorded like 3 episodes between September and probably like the first week of December, which isn't very good. Like it affected me. So I think that's probably one of my biggest regrets, is that I wasn't like regimented, disciplined. I let other shit get on top of my discipline, which is not very good for me. I'm very structured, and if I get out of structure, then I feel like shit. And that's what happened. I think I'm most proud of, it's probably this item of clothing, the one that's we did for the Lou gig, because, and that's like the back print. I think that's the one that I'm most proud of, because there is more people that bought this that I didn't know. So we sold a load of these at the event, and people bought them that I didn't actually know, that weren't like friends of mine, weren't family and stuff like that. So to me, that was quite a big thing. I was quite proud of that, because it's like I don't know, it's someone owning a piece of your art that you don't know. They're not like, I don't know, they're not doing it just to support you, and you know that, because they've actually bought it because they liked it, and they've actually bought it because they didn't need to buy it. So, and they didn't know who designed it. So I think that's the coolest part for me, is that there is people now walking around their towns all over the country with a hoodie that I've designed. Maybe the new set, I'm pretty proud of that. That's quite cool. If you haven't seen that previous video where I showed Joe the new set that I released, like I think it was Boxing Day, maybe the day after. That's a fun video, but that is another one that I'm proud of, like, because I built it all from scratch. Last year we all sat around the fire Christmas Eve at our friend's house, and all kind of said something. But I think one of them was a clothing line, released my own clothing line, which I haven't, but I kind of have. I've released drops that have been multiple things. There have been a t-shirt and a hoodie. And also we have done more clothing this year, and continue everything. Just continue to plug along, tick along. I think there's a goal that I did fail, which was start my masters. Sad. I'd probably say, just keep doing what you're doing. If it hasn't hit yet, it will. Just keep ticking along. If it hasn't hit yet, it will. And if you're earning money, but your grandma still tells you you've got to get a proper job, you're doing something right. So keep ticking along, because it'll all kind of work out. Hopefully you've found how to relax properly and kind of chill out with stuff. If not, you need to put that on your list for 2023. yeah, and please stop catching fucking COVID. How many times we had it now? Fucking 27. Jesus wept. My favourite, the musician I'm listening to at the moment, Crawlers. At the moment, they're killing it. Really, really enjoying them. Really enjoying Girlfriends still. I love all their stuff. I've listened to them so much this year. Oh, and Lovejoy. I've been listening to a lot of Lovejoy, and it's Wilbur, the YouTuber. He's a Minecraft YouTuber, but he has a rock and roll band called Lovejoy, and they are unbelievable. They're probably one of my favourite, like, upbeat artists. I've listened to a lot of, like, I don't know, like, darker, like, pop punky type music, like, loud, but, like, a little bit on the darker side. But I think on my, like, lighter side that I listen to, Lovejoy, because their album they released this year was a fucking belter. So I've done quite a lot of things for the first time this year. Through my first gig, that was a wild one. So the first one was in Northampton. We had Garden headline. We brought the Motive up from London. Rolling Thunder and Elliot Williams. That was a really sick night. Really, really cool night. First time uploading to YouTube on my personal channel, like starting this like personal, I don't know, personal career, personal car creation, personal content, personal thing. Everything's normally always been with Joe, and like we've always built content around our podcast and stuff like that. So now I've got like my own thing going on alongside it, which is really sick. First time going away with my girlfriend, which was very cool. Because of COVID and stuff, we like hadn't been anywhere, so it felt like a long time coming. First time building a table, building a set, starting like from scratch with a table and like wooden stuff. That was pretty cool. There must be something weird that I've done for the first time this year. First time I made a spoon ring was this year. First time I made a ring. I want to ride motocross bike for the first time at some point. I think that'd be, I want to ride a motocross bike for the first time. I want to do a tour for the first time for somebody, organize a tour for somebody for the first time. I want to do a first time, for the first time I want to do a full clothing release, like a full works, like t-shirt, hoodie, hat, accessory, socks, potentially trousers. Trousers are quite hard to do, but like a full season, like a full like closed capsule look. So I think that's one of the things I really want to do for the first time. I want to be a business owner for the first time, start a company, whatever it's in, I don't know, but I want to do that for the first time, start that and give that road a go for a bit. I want to present something for the first time. Like that's not, obviously this year I started working for a company presenting on like esports, but I want to do like an event, like a competition or an event, presenting an event. I want to snowboard properly for the first time this year. I want to go like snowboarding properly, like in like, I don't know, the Alps or some shit, like Canada maybe, something like that. Like go properly snowboarding too, because I've only ever done it on like little hills or like indoor places. So I want to do it properly on a mountain somewhere, like go snowboarding for the first time. That would be sick. I think they're my first times, I think, for next year. We're doing like an overview of our socials for the year and what they're on at the moment, so I can see next year kind of what we develop to, what we get into. So we have on the podcast page on Instagram, we have 943 followers on that. We have on my personal Instagram, we have 755. On Twitter, my personal is 534, which I don't know whether I'm going to push too much on Twitter, but I think that's just, you know, everyone uses Twitter. And then on our podcast Twitter is one that we use all the time. We have 1,334 followers on Twitter, which is wild. And on our YouTube channels, my personal only has 27 subs so far. It is, as of today, I have 2 videos uploaded, 122 subs on the podcast one, which is it's still pretty good. So yeah, there are socials as of today, as of posting 2 videos on my personal and stuff. That's where we're at. My first goal that I'll have for 2022 is I want to be going to the gym at least 3 times a week. I think that's really important for me this year to get physically and mentally fit. My second goal is to do 20 gigs under TSRP Presents, like do 20 events that we've been doing this year. You know, we've done 2. I want to do 20 next year. I want to really ramp up the amount that we do. I want to get 50 videos on my personal. So I want to get 50 videos on my personal, which means I've got to upload 48 more onto that channel to get it from today, the 2nd of January 2022. I've got to upload 48 more videos onto it to get there. I want to get 1,000 subs and I want to get 10,000 cumulative views is my goal for the end of the year. So each video has to average 20 subscriber increase and it has to average 200 views each. So it's quite big ask, but I think they're my goals this year for YouTube. And then for the podcast stuff, we've got quite a big goal, separate goals to that. So for the podcast stuff, I really want to be making sure that we are recording every week. We do another 50 episode year. I want to be big, proper like that. I want to get at least another 2 number one. I want to get 2 more number one artists on our podcast. Is our goal. I think that's like, it's achievable. That's where we're at. So yeah, that's where I'm at with our goals for this year. So hopefully 2022 is going to be a very big year for us. It's going to be very, very productive. We're going to be going through a lot of changes here in the TSRP office. We're going to be going through a lot of stuff. And I'm really looking forward to making it our year. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you've got this far through the video, make sure you like and subscribe. I'm going to be doing another one of these next year. If you enjoyed the concept of the video, let us know in the comments down below. And also, if you want to follow any of the socials I've been talking about, and kind of if you want to get involved with any of the stuff that I'm doing over there, go and follow them. I'm at Elliot Farrow on everything, and we're at the SR Podcast on all the socials for the podcast. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a great new year, great Christmas and all of that shit, and I'll see you on the other side. Peace.